Some stories exist to enlighten the mind, some to temporarily inspire hope or passion. But there is one set of writings meant to chill you to the bone, or make you question what is actually possible. These stories are called Creepypasta. Have you ever sat down and really asked yourself, where did we come from? The universe, how could it possibly exist? No bullshit, just logically thinking. Whether your conclusion was a deity of sorts of unknown origins or a magical explosion created from nothing, there is no possible way we can ever really know. Or can we? The question started to haunt me around the age of 4. Even from a young age, I could tell religion was bullshit, so naturally I wanted to become a scientist. I knew the schooling and access to the most advanced technology would be the only way I could find the answer. Luckily, I had the brain to back up the obsession. At the age of 12, I had already graduated high school and was in my freshman year at Stanford. By that time, I had played with many different theories, all failing very short of an actual proof of where the universe came from. The Big Bang Theory was and currently is the most popular among the scientific community, stating that roughly 13.8 billion years ago, an explosion created the universe and everything in it. We know this for a fact from looking back into the past using telescopes and really elaborate mathematics. But how does an explosion exist if nothing else does? A gas cloud, some say, in a void absent of space and time. But where did the mysterious cosmic fart come from? Or the void, by that matter? It rivals the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg. String theory, on the other hand, is quite interesting. The idea of the multiverse is actually what I spent most of my time with. Not because it's any more logical than the others, just the others are so unprovable that they must be wrong. With string theory, the universe in a sense created itself. Infinite alternative universes that exist side by side, blipping in and out of existence, like an endless cluster of bubbles, merging, popping, and separating into different universes. This theory led me to Professor Hitchens, the man that would become my mentor and the man that would end up dying trying to spread the truth of our findings. The professor was an expert in many different fields, which was the reason I attached myself to him in the first place. I had never met anyone that shared my intellect or drive for knowledge and truth, but he did. Not to mention I was still a child. An extremely gifted child, but still a child that sought out a father figure. He too had shifted his main focus to string theory by the time we met, and it happened to be for the exact same reason. The strange quantum movement occurring in electrons traveling between the atomic layers of material. Instead of traveling from the top to the bottom layer through the middle, the electrons were caught disappearing from the top layer, reappearing in the bottom layer a fraction of a second later, with no trace of them existing in between. If we were to understand how something could just simply exist, like the universe, we would have to unlock the secrets of this subatomic particle that could randomly not exist. Together we started our journey to understanding the quantum realm, and after 15 years we had built a machine that would change the way we saw the universe forever. A simple electron microscope was never going to work, and light microscopes were too weak. Instead of building larger machines to process the information to see further into the quantum realm, we needed to build smaller. We needed to somehow exist within the quantum realm, so we focused all of our resources on nanotechnology, eventually building an all-new type of microscope we hoped would bring the results we sought after. I won't explain the years of trial and error, but one day we just got it right. As the images appeared on the screen, for the first time in history we could see past atoms, past protons, and physically see these teleporting electrons. We witnessed these quantum tunnels opening up and pulling the electrons through, bringing with it the new quantum gases that we discovered in the process. We could actually see the electrons as they sat at the exit of the tunnel as if it was the event horizon of a black hole, before igniting a new universe into existence. The explosion of its Big Bang closing the tunnel around the electron, causing it to reappear in the bottom layer of the quantum material. We had done it. We had finally figured out how the universe came to exist. A simple electron passing through from another universe into nothingness, creating everything. Creating us. There was no celebration. There were no words, just awkward silence as we all just tried to process our success. There were still questions to answer. Why and how these tunnels seemed to open out of nowhere, leading to nowhere. Most importantly, where did the first electron come from? Our technology definitely hadn't met its limits, so we dove even further, continuing in silence. We saw past quarks, the smallest particles that we knew of at that time. We saw that the quark was made of individual glowing blobs, and these blobs made of small vibrating strings of light. It was when we got past these filaments of light that we understood the truth. As we stared at the image on the screen, we couldn't believe what we had discovered. A series of ones and zeros, arranged in such a way that made perfect sense to everyone in the room. Binary.
Simulation lost.
The announcement seemed to echo down from the heavens. Before anyone could say a word, there was a change in the atmosphere. No one spoke up, but we all felt it. I peered out the window at the busy city to see the cars and people frozen in place. A text window appeared in the sky which seemed to stretch for thousands of miles and read, "Do you wish to delete this program?" As the selected option changed from cancel to delete, I screamed out in objection. "Wait!" After a moment of nothing happening, I knew I had been heard. I continued. "Look, we understand we've gone too far, just give us another chance. These results won't leave this lab. The simulation can continue." "Are you fucking kidding me?" the professor yelled out. "I didn't slave for 30 years just to throw my results down the drain. The world deserves to know the truth, even if it causes its end. Who wants to live in this lie anyway?" As the last word left his lips, the professor dropped all emotion from his face and started to deatomize before our eyes, disappearing within seconds. My lifelong mentor and friend was gone. The room gasped in fear before someone else yelled out, "Please, we can fix this. The rest of the..." She paused, not knowing what to call the people still frozen in the streets. "Programs will never know. We'll destroy the evidence and forget it ever existed." After a few moments that felt like eternity, the selection in the sky changed back to cancel and then selects, disappearing and regaining the movement of the world. Everything was as it once was. After destroying the lab and with it all proof of the simulation, the team parted ways, vowing to keep the truth a secret. Over the years, members of the team have disappeared, probably giving in and attempting to reach out with the truth, causing themselves to be deleted. I can't say I blame them. Living with it's a curse and it eats at you until you can't stand it anymore. Trust me, that's why I'm posting this story today. As I near the end of my life, I've learned that no matter the reason our simulation was created, existing for someone else's entertainment is not a meaningful existence. And if this post results in my disappearance, you know why. I just hope you all forgive me for what this may bring upon the world. I've spent half my life looking for an answer, and the other half hiding the one I found. I leave it with you, along with my reconstructed research, to do what you will. But at least I leave this world knowing that I left the universal proof behind. If you made it this far, it means you liked my story about science and shit. This one was a little tricky to write, but you know what? It was fun. So if you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment something crazy. I don't know, if you don't agree with my science, then go in the comments and say something about it. That's fine with me, as long as you hit the subscribe button, okay? So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can catch all of my stories that I write and narrate on this channel. And we'll see you next time.